Samuel chapter 15, verse 22 says, "To obey is better than sacrifice." You know, when it comes to healing, there are many things that people are just not willing to do. And healing comes with obedience. Obedience is the key that opens the door. It unlocks the door in the spiritual realm in order for us to receive our healing. I've seen so many people get healed from God only to return back with the same issues, if not even worse, because they did not grasp this concept of obedience. When we obey God, He gives us the light of His revelation and He gets us where we need to go. You know, it's very easy to ask God for healing, but how many of you out there would ask God to show you the way to healing? And this might seem like a harsh word, but the truth of the matter is this. There are many people who receive their healing, but because they have not dealt with the root cause, because they have not put the axe to the root of the tree, their healing did not last for very long. You know, our greatest expression of worship is found in our obedience to God. When I was fighting my cancer battle, the one thing that God showed me was that I had to be prepared to put the axe to the root. I had to be prepared to feel uncomfortable. And what this simply means is that when you are ready to receive your healing, when you ask God not to heal you, but to show you the way to healing, you have to be prepared for the fact that God is going to highlight those areas in your life that need addressing. God is going to shine the light on those areas, on those root causes that need to be uprooted in order for you to heal completely and fully. You see, many of us are not willing to do what it takes. It's going to feel uncomfortable. There are things that you are going to have to face that, quite frankly, are going to feel very gut-wrenching. There are going to be some issues of maybe unforgiveness, which means you're going to have to forgive some people. You're going to have to go over certain past hurts and really pluck it up from the bottom up so that you can learn to come to terms with it and lay it to rest once and for all. And I'll be honest with you, this isn't easy, which is why you need God's strength, because it's something that is so impossible to do in your own strength. You know, it's one thing knowing the Bible, but it's another thing to know the author of the Bible. We need to be prepared to be uncomfortable and to face those things that we need to face. We need to be prepared even to, cut off some people in our lives. We need to be prepared to get rid of some things in our lives. We have to be prepared to make those changes in our lives. Because unless we are prepared to do these things, then our healing cannot take place. And if we do get healed, it will not last for very long. James chapter 1 verse 5 says this, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God." You see, it's very important that you seek the face of God when it comes to your healing, because it takes God's wisdom to get you through. It takes God's wisdom in order for you to be able to put the axe to the tree, to uproot those things that need to be uprooted in order for healing, permanent healing, to take place. In the book of Genesis, we see that Noah did everything that God had commanded him. And this is very interesting because when God commanded Noah to build the ark, Noah completely obeyed God and did as he was asked. How many of you are willing to completely walk in obedience in order for you to heal? How many of you are prepared to cut some people off in your life in order for you to be able to heal? How many of you are willing to make some sacrifices in order to heal? How many of you are willing to do whatever it takes, whatever God needs you to do in order for healing to take place? You see, God doesn't give us what we can handle. God helps us handle what we are given. God gives us the tools we need in order to walk through our healing. Acts chapter 5:29 says, "Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, 'We ought to obey God rather than men.'" You see, another thing I've noticed is that when you are healing, you will have people around you, possibly naysayers, possibly the ones who will want to speak negatively in your life, giving you their opinions and telling you what they think you should do. You need to listen to the voice of God. You need to learn to cut off certain voices and certain opinions that are going to try to invade your mindset, and learn to rely on God's voice and God's word concerning your healing journey. So I pray that this video gives you food for thought, and I pray that you are ready to now begin your journey of healing. And remember, Jesus is the light of this world. God bless you.
It says this: our God is awesome.
My God is awesome.
He can move mountains.
He can move mountains.
Keep me in the valley.